This is the iPhone X, arguably the most anticipated new Apple smartphone to land in years. It's got a bold new design that's nearly all screen, Face ID unlock system, and the arrival of new features like support for wireless charging. If you're still trying to get your hands on one for yourself, we've got a little preview to help tide you over. I'm Stephen Shank with PhoneArena, bringing you an unboxing of the Apple iPhone X. Going back about 8 months now, we've been seeing more and more smartphones launch with these incredibly widescreen displays filling nearly the entire face of the handset. At first it wasn't clear if Apple was going to join this club this year, maybe put it off till next year, but sure enough, this year we not only got the new iPhone 8 models, but we had waited a little bit longer and now the iPhone X is here, and I cannot wait to get into this. So with no further ado, let's start going into this guy. There she is. It doesn't look like much until it powers on. Oh, turned on in the box. That's fine though. That is just incredible. Yes, we have this notch at the top here, but other than that, this is just all screen, and it's so impressive. This is the space gray version of the phone. You also get it in silver. Oh man, I gotta get into this. I'm peeling this protective stuff off here. Wow. I mean, I've seen ultra widescreen phones before. This is not the first time, but for Apple, this is just bizarre. It's already, how do you interact with this without a home button on there? New gesture controls this year. All right, let's go ahead and start setting this guy up. Actually, no, I'm gonna wait a second and go into the box a little bit first. So we have standard looking Apple accessories here. We have our lightning equipped earpods with our headphone adapter. Very nice to have. A regular lightning cable, and Apple power adapter. All pretty standard stuff that you get with the iPhone 8, but it's just so exciting because it's with the iPhone X. Before I start powering this, or getting through the setup here, just looking for a size comparison here. The iPhone 8 Plus just looks so big compared to this, and it's got a smaller screen. This is 5.5 inches here, 5.85, just new aspect ratio. The way these bezels are just shrunken down, the curved edges just lets Apple squeeze so much more real estate in on there than we would get with a standard form factor smartphone. And of course, this thing just dwarfs the 4.7-inch iPhone 8. I don't think I have this charged right now. I mean, it's like the entire screen. I mean, you can fit the iPhone 8 in just the screen of the iPhone X there. That's incredibly impressive. All right, let's go ahead and get this guy set up because I'm sure we're curious to see this in action. Okay, we've got initial setup taken care of. As you can see, we're going to be doing a lot of swiping up without the home button. So we're up to get started. Swipe up is going to be our default, go back to home. Access the control panel now by swiping down from the top right. I'm going to turn screen brightness up. There, that looks a lot better. Again, we got True Tone for matching color temperature. And an all-new screen this time. Not just is the shape so different and the size and the curved corners, Apple's finally gotten on the OLED bandwagon. So super high contrast screen. Now you are going to see a little bit of color shifting at the extreme edges as you tilt this. That's something we'll get used to, and it's just that's the way OLEDs are. It's nothing special about Apple's implementation here. This is just weird interacting with an iPhone like this. So I think in addition to swiping up for home, we can sort of swipe and stop, or if we had any tasks open, we can switch between them here. We'll take a quick look at the rest of the hardware. Like the iPhone 8 models we got this year, a glass back, which allows Apple to support wireless charging. I know it's sacrilege to have a Samsung charger here, but I was really impressed with the iPhone 8, and it's true here as well, how quickly it recognizes the charger and begins charging. Android phones can take a beat to do that. Apple is really doing a good implementation of wireless charging here. First, you don't have to do wireless, you can do Face ID. I did set this up when doing the initial setup for the phone here. It's gonna be difficult to see with my camera set up for unboxing like this. You're gonna see the Face ID in a lot more detail when we do the full review of the phone coming up soon, but it's one of the reasons we have this notch at the top of the screen here. It's got to house the regular front facer as well as the face scanner. It uses special hardware projecting an array of dots that it uses to map the depth of your face and try to avoid people faking it with like a printout of you or something. It's very, very neat tech there. Around back, we've got dual 12 megapixel cameras, slightly different orientation. This is already getting fingerprints. This is the one thing I don't love about the glass. I might want to pop a case on here just to keep this looking nice and fresh. Camera's very similar to what we saw on the iPhone 8 Plus, believe the main difference here, we have the telephoto lens has a slightly wider aperture, so it should have better light sensitivity. And around front, I think thanks to the face scanning hardware, you can now use portrait lighting with front facer as well as the rear camera. So a lot of really interesting things going on with the hardware here. Like the lightning port around back. Power button looking pretty big. I guess just because we aren't going to be using Touch ID to open the phone. I just want something nice you can reach for. Of course, our silence switch around side here, volume controls, and nothing going on up top. Man, this is just, it's such a bizarre way to be interacting with an iPhone, yet I'm sure we're going to get very, very used to this in the days to come. For now, though, this has just been a quick unboxing of the Apple iPhone X. I'm Stephen Shank with PhoneArena. Stay tuned for the full review, lots of comparisons coming up soon. We're going to be covering this thing from here to, I don't know, the end of this idiom. Anyway, thanks for watching, and please subscribe to make sure you don't miss any of that upcoming action.